Today we'll be talking about training and development strategy for USAA. My name is Pedro Hidalgo. We're going to discuss the training needs assessment. We started off with a survey, and the survey really encompassed what needs to improve with member satisfaction, how to reduce hold times, warm versus cold transfers, what are the members' exact needs, how to reduce transfers, how to increase survey engagement from the members, how to increase business through additional referrals, why do they call in versus doing it themselves, where do they interact with USA most, online, over the phone, in person, and what do they expect, who do they expect to deal with? And what I mean by this is like, are they specifically thinking that they're dealing with just basic customer service or more specific type of representation? So, how do we validate the chosen training method? It was based off the survey, really, and focusing on the key parts there. And those were to determine, I guess, what were going to be the best practices to improve member experience. That's the key. And the starting point for that would really be, how do we decrease hold times? And we really focused on taking a look at different methods of first identifying the real reason why they were calling, because this is kind of a two-parter. And if you can really identify why they're calling, you can avoid additional transfers, which will in turn decrease hold times. And if you can properly explain what's going to be happening, sometimes you don't need to do a warm transfer, a personalized transfer that you bring over. You can do just a cold transfer where you just send the member over with a brief note. So these two parts of really determining what they need to make sure they go to the right place the first time, and to fully explain to them what's going to be happening, and sometimes doing a cold transfer over a warm transfer in non-grave situations can really decrease that time. And then really kind of talking to the member also and learning why they're calling in and seeing if this is something we could possibly teach them to do themselves. We have an app, we have a website, a lot of services they can use themselves. And hopefully through those conversations get more feedback from them and determine, is this working for them? Do they like this kind of a style and method? And what really validated this for us was determining the 5 parts of this. How are we doing this? When are they calling in? What are they calling in for? Why? And who are they looking to speak to? If those key parts can be determined, then it's something we're going to work on trying to come up with a solution for. Evaluate your analysis of training and development needs. Again, basically basing this off of the survey. Are all the key concerns for management being addressed? And with all the ones that we addressed, there are, yes, the surveys, the hold times, and missed transfers. Those are the big things we really wanted to focus in on. And surveys are the surveys that the members give us afterwards. We want that feedback from them. So really having these conversations with a member and fully determining what they need is helping us avoid missed transfers. It will decrease the hold time. And in that conversation piece, you can really ask them about giving us some feedback to make sure that we're appeasing them and what they wanted to get accomplished. Explaining the ways to meet the training needs. We're going to achieve these by coaching, and we want to coach in real time with these call reviews to see what really is going on in these calls. So really kind of listening to go all the while it's happening, or right afterwards doing a review and giving that MSR feedback on what they did to make sure that they're getting it real time and can really apply it on the go. Also setting goals and expectations for these issues for them, so they kind of already know what game plan we have for them. And clearly and effectively communicating that also with a member, what these issues are and what we're doing to work on it will give them a better understanding of what we're doing for them versus just doing it for them. Also letting them know and having them be involved. Discussing potential barriers. Potential barriers for this training are really going to be the time that we're allotted to work with the MSRs, since they need to be on the phone. It's call center. So we can work on that in regards to just trying to use other coaching times and meeting times to maybe incorporate some of these changes in those. Budget training for the year really wouldn't be one. Again, we'd be using our coaching time and our management time to work with these individuals to really focus on this. So there wouldn't be a funding difference there because we don't have to do any type of external training of any sort. The way we'll evaluate this is really through monitoring the calls. We have call queue audits, we have transfer audits, we have whole time audits, and we can actually audit the calls themselves and see how the call actually went with the MSR and the member. And then the surveys they give us back also gives us more of that specific feedback from them, because there is a verbal response to it and a numeric system that they participate in, so they can also give us the feedback beyond what we heard in the call. Besides saying thank you, maybe there's something they didn't want to say, they can actually say it on that piece. So this is how we'll really be able to evaluate how the training is being fully implemented and the results of it. Basically, overall, we'll see those in the numbers and in those surveys when time comes. Thank you for taking the time to listen today to our training and development strategy for USA and our issue with whole times, need for more surveys and misdirected calls. Thank you.